What's up guys, it's SCG here, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to connect your DualSense controller to your smartphone. So I'll be showing not only how to connect to an iPhone, but to an Android phone as well. So no matter what device you have, you will be able to connect to the DualSense controller and use it on your phone. So I'm going to be showing the iPhone tutorial first, so if you're looking for the Android version, just skip ahead to this timestamp right here. Okay, so starting on the home screen of our iPhone, go to the settings menu, and first just check to be sure you have the newest version of iOS. So go to software update and then just check to see if you have an update available for your phone. So any version of iOS after 14.5 will work with the DualSense controller. So as I'm currently recording this, 14.5 is the newest version of iOS, but if you're watching in the future and you're using 14.6 or 14.7, they'll work just fine. Just be sure that your phone is at least up to date with iOS 14.5. Once your phone is up to date, we can go down to the Bluetooth settings and just make sure it is turned on and ready to go. So now on our DualSense controller, we can put it into Bluetooth pairing mode. And to do that, just press the create button and the PlayStation button. So the button in the top left corner and the PlayStation logo. Hold both of those for about 5 to 7 seconds until you see the lights around the touch bar start to flash. That means it is good to go and ready to connect. So now on our phone, we can go down and the controller should appear in the other devices section as a wireless controller or as a DualSense controller. So once it appears there, just tap on it and we can connect it to our phone and it is ready to use. So here in the settings menu, the controller does not do us much good, so let's open up a game to test the controller out. Now I will note that not all games are compatible with the DualSense controller. Some are fully compatible, others are partially compatible, and some do not work at all. I know a Call of Duty works, a Fortnite, most mobile racing games also work, and of course if you want to use PlayStation Remote Play on your phone, you can use your controller with that as well. So here I'm playing a mobile game called Air Wings, and this game is fully compatible with the DualSense controller. We can move around using the control sticks, we can fire using the circle button, and we can even change the controller layout a little bit here in the settings menu. There are a surprising number of mobile exclusive games that are compatible with the DualSense controller. For example, here I'm using Jetpack Joyride, and you wouldn't really think this game would be compatible with a controller because all you basically do is tap to go up and down, but we can use it with our controller if we wanted to. Instead of tapping on the screen to go up and down, we can use the controller buttons to move our guy up and down. And then there are the games that just don't work at all with the controller, even if they say they do. For example, here Real Racing 3 says it works on iOS, it works on Android, but for some reason on my phone I could not get it to work despite how hard I tried. So keep that in mind. Even if the game says it is compatible, it still might not be. But in my experience, that rarely happens. And other than that, everything else is easy to use and set up with the DualSense controller here. Now, if you want to disconnect it, just go back to settings, back to Bluetooth, and select the device, and it will disconnect from your phone. If you want to reconnect it back to your PlayStation 5, I will show that at the end of the video after the Android tutorial, so skip ahead to this timestamp if you want to reconnect back to your console. Alright, so over on Android, we actually have two different methods for connecting our controller. On iPhone, we just have the Bluetooth method, but here on Android, we can connect either via a USB cable or via Bluetooth wirelessly. So, in my opinion, the easiest method is just using the cable, so I'm going to show that first. So, just get any USB-C cable you have lying around and plug one end into your phone. Obviously, it has to be a USB-C compatible phone. If it's not, and it's still using micro USB, then unfortunately, you cannot use this method. But if your phone is after the year 2017, it most likely has a USB-C port. So plug one end into your phone, the other end into your controller, and it'll just automatically connect and it'll be good to go and use on your phone. Alright, so the second method for connecting our controller is wirelessly via Bluetooth. So to do that, just be sure your Android phone is up to date. Obviously, there are a lot of different versions of Android. I'm using a Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra, but if you have a OnePlus or a Google Pixel, it's going to look different, but the process should be the same. So just search for update in the settings menu and then find your update status. My phone is up to date and is good to go, but if you have an update available, just install it before you continue on. So now we can go back to the main settings screen here and we can go to Bluetooth. So on my phone it's under connections and then the third option here, Bluetooth, and just make sure it's turned on and it is ready to use. So now over on our controller we can put it into pairing mode by pressing the create button and the PlayStation button. So the button in the top left corner and the PlayStation logo, hold both of of those for about 5 to 7 seconds until you see the lights around the touch bar start to flash. That means it is in pairing mode and ready to connect. So now back on our phone, it should appear down in the available devices section as a wireless controller or DualSense controller. So tap on it and it will connect to the controller. So once our device is connected, either via a cable or Bluetooth, we can navigate around the settings menu here. We can back out, go back to the home screen. We can move around, open up apps, all just using the controller. I'm not really sure why you'd use it this way, but that is an option if you do want to navigate around your phone just using your DualSense controller. But the real reason for connecting a controller to your phone is to actually game with it. So let's actually try it out in a game. Now, controller compatibility depends on the game. Some games are completely compatible with controllers, others are only partially, and then some games just don't work at all. So make sure to do your research before you try to use your controller in-game. So I'm going to be using Real Racing 3 in today's video. This game I would say is partially compatible. We can use the controller, but it doesn't have any layout or button changes we can do. Some games you can change all the button prompts and calibrate it to your liking, but in this game we can just use the controller with its default button layout. So as you can see here, I can move the cursor around with the control sticks. If I'm in a race, I can move the car around with the control sticks. I can brake with triangle. I can change my view with R2, and all these buttons each do their own different thing here, but each game is going to be different. Here I'm playing Jetpack Joyride, and this game has no controller customization at all, and it's just basic inputs. All you do is basically push the circle button to go up and down, and that's about it. There are a surprisingly large number of games that work this way. A lot of mobile exclusive games that just have like one button input for moving your character up and down or side to side or whatever, and that's about it. But if you want to use your controller with games like Real Racing here, or with other games like Fortnite or Call of Duty, those all have more robust controller compatibility, and they also offer controller customization as well. So yeah, success rate will depend on the game you are playing, but this game works just great with the controller. So once we are done with the controller and we want to disconnect it from our Android phone, we can go back to settings, back to Bluetooth, and then just tap on the controller to disconnect it. Now, once we are done using our controller with our phone, we might want to reconnect it with our console. So to do that, we have to basically reconnect it to our console as if it were a brand new controller. So grab any USB-C cable that you have around, plug one end into the controller, the other end into your console, and then turn the PlayStation 5 on. Then here on the login screen, just press the PlayStation button and log in with the user you want to use, and then you can just disconnect the USB-C cable from the controller, and you can use it wirelessly on your console. So this can be kind of a hassle if you want to bounce back and forth between using your smartphone and using your PlayStation 5 with the controller. Back on your phone, you're going to have to go through the whole reconnection process over again. Basically, each time you want to use the controller with a new device, you're going to have to reconnect it all over again as if it were a brand new device. So this can be kind of a hassle, but it's still extremely convenient to be able to use your controller on iPhone and Android instead of just using your hands, especially in some games like FPS games. In my opinion, it's a lot easier to use it with a controller than with just the touchscreen. So it's nice that we can connect these controllers to our phones. Other than that, that about does it for today's tutorial. If you enjoyed, leave a like down below. If you have any questions or any issues with this tutorial, leave that in the comments as well. Other than that, I've been Steven, your semi-comprehensive guide, and be sure to have a wonderful rest of your day.